Their faces were black with coal dust, but it wasn't dirt that haunted America. It was a childhood stolen. In 1911, photographer Lewis Hine captured a haunting image at Ewan Breaker in Pennsylvania. Young boys covered in soot, their eyes far older than their years. These Breaker boys spent 10 hours a day picking sharp coal by hand and choking dust. Hine took over 7,000 such photos, exposing the brutal reality of child labor to the nation. His camera became a weapon for justice, sparking outrage, reform, and laws that finally let children trade coal dust for classroom. He was the fastest gun in the West, and his legend was written in blood and smoke. Born in Illinois in 1837, James Butler Wild Bill Hickok went from farm boy to fearless lawman and one of the West's greatest gunfighters. His lightning draw made him a legend, from deadly duels to taming lawless frontier towns. But in 1876, while playing poker in Deadwood, South Dakota, fate caught him from behind. A single shot ended his life, and the cards in his hand, black aces and eights, became known forever as the Dead Man's Hand. Wild Bill Hickok, legend, lawman, and the West's most fateful hand. Ever seen that viral photo of a guy in an old helmet flying headfirst into a wall? Everyone swears it's an early football test, but nope. In 1912, British magazine revealed it was actually pilot in training W.T. Warren, crash testing helmets for aviators who wrecked planes like bumper cars. But football had its own tests. In 1932, inventor Foul-Proof Taylor proved his helmet by letting players kick him, smack him with bats, and ran him into walls twice. Honestly, the helmet held up better than he did. Think selfies are new? Think again. The very first photographic selfie was snapped in 1839 by Robert Cornelius in Philadelphia, nearly 2 centuries before Instagram. By the early 1900s, photographer Joseph Byron posed with his camera, and even Russia's Grand Duchess Anastasia took mirror selfies with a Kodak Brownie. But the word itself didn't appear until 2002, when an Australian casually posted, "Sorry about focus, it was a selfie." From daguerreotypes to TikTok, one thing is clear: selfies have always been about capturing ourselves in time. In 1926, the world watched the sky. Richard Byrd and pilot Floyd Bennett set off from Spitsbergen in a tri-motor plane named the Josephine Ford, aiming to be the first to fly over the North Pole. After nearly 16 hours, they claimed success. But controversy followed. Could they really have made the distance in that time? Debate continues to this day. Still, Byrd returned home a hero, honored with a New York parade, while the Josephine Ford toured the nation as a symbol of daring exploration. For 30 years, the Wild West came alive under one name, Buffalo Bill. From 1883 to 1913, his traveling show stunned crowds with real cowboys, Native American warriors, buffalo from his own ranch, and even the actual Deadwood stagecoach. Sharpshooter Annie Oakley dazzled audiences, while Sitting Bull himself once rode in the arena. With 2 massive trains hauling thousands of people, horses, and props, it was less a show than a moving city. More than entertainment, Buffalo Bill's spectacle shaped the world's lasting image of the American West. Imagine a playground so dangerous it laughed in the face of gravity itself. Back in the early 1900s, schoolyards weren't padded and safe. They were metal jungles of mayhem. Swings launched kids into orbit, seesaws acted like catapults, and slides doubled as burn tests for summer heat. Grandpa swore he was tough, But even in his 8 miles uphill in the snow story, A Stretch, surviving those playgrounds, now that's true grit. Maybe toughness isn't born, it's playground tested. Imagine forests of towering giants falling to axes and saws. In the late 1800s, gold seekers turned lumberjacks flooded California's redwood region, felling colossal trees to fuel booming West Coast cities. By the 20th century, railways sped massive logs to market, while land grabs stripped forests further. Today, Redwood National and State Parks protect these giants, nature's survivors standing tall against centuries of human greed. In 1875, a tiny coffin held not a man, but a canary named Little Joe. Before gas detectors, miners relied on canaries to warn of deadly carbon monoxide. If the bird stopped singing, it meant the men had seconds to flee. Little Joe gave his life in that service, and the miners buried him with honor, like a fallen comrade. A reminder that true courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it sings and saves lives. She wasn't supposed to fight, she was supposed to teach. But when war came to Aizu, Nakano Takeko chose the blade. Born in 1847 to a samurai family, Nakano Takeko mastered the naginata, a deadly pole weapon, by the age 6. A gifted warrior and scholar, she trained other women in martial arts, earning both respect and fear. But when the Boshin War reached her domain in 1868, Nakano refused to stand aside. Leading an all-female unit, she charged into battle, cutting down enemies until she fell. Refusing dishonor, she ordered her sister to take her head so it would never be a trophy. Nakano Takeko, Japan's fearless samurai woman who fought to the very end.